Pregnancy can be one of the most wonderful times in a woman's life, and with Mother's Day just around the corner, we're here today to talk about how we can help to manage morning sickness, a condition that affects up to 85% of pregnant women in America. That's approximately 3.4 million women each year in the United States alone. And here to talk more about that is former host of The Doctors, Dr. Lisa Masterson. Dr. Masterson, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, good to have you on the show today. So there's an acronym that's been kind of going around, and I'm wondering if you could share with viewers what MVP stands for.
NVP stands for nausea and vomiting in pregnancy, and basically that correlates with morning sickness. And the thing about, it's very, very common that 3.4 million pregnant women is huge. But the thing is, morning sickness is a really bad name for morning sickness because it doesn't just happen in the morning. It can happen in the evening, in the middle of the night. It can happen all day long. And that's why nausea and vomiting pregnancy actually describes it more adequately. And this is something that can be completely debilitating to women. I think a lot of people take it really lightly. And as you said, this should be an amazing time, but this can really make women miserable and translate into lost work hours, problems with family, lost time with the family, not being able to function. So this is something that women need to know, even though it's very, very common. It's a medical condition, and we can help our ladies experience the amazing pregnancy.
I think there's a spark of interest in our audience right now because I think so many people don't realize that this is something that can be treated. What are the causes of NVP?
Well, a lot of women think it's actually the baby when it's not. So it's very important to know it's really part of the pregnancy. And it's usually the placental mass or those escalating hormones at the beginning of pregnancy, estrogen and HCG, that are really the triggers for nausea and vomiting in pregnancy, and not the baby. A lot of women will mistakenly think it's associated with having a really hairy baby or with the baby's sex, so either a boy or girl. And it's not the baby's fault. It's actually all about the pregnancy. And again, it can make women feel absolutely miserable. It usually resolves after the first trimester. That's the good news. But women don't have to suffer in silence, and so many of them are. There are things that we can do to help treat them.
I also like how we're kind of moving away from calling it morning sickness, because as a father of 2 children, I noticed that my wife experienced quote-unquote morning sickness, or NVP, at other times other than the morning as well. So what are some ways that women can manage NVP?
Well, I love that you asked, because especially this can happen to women before they get to the doctor. So it's important that they know some of the things to do, or some of the things that their doctors might suggest. And we like to start with lifestyle and dietary changes, like, avoiding spicy foods, eating smaller meals more frequently, avoiding really greasy foods, avoiding really big meals, things like that. But why I'm so thrilled to be here today is because I partnered with Duchenne USA to talk about diclegis, which is the only FDA-approved safe and effective treatment in pregnancy. So it is really, really important that women know that there is a safe and effective medicine that's been tested in pregnancy, and that they can feel comfortable with that to go into feeling better and enjoying this amazing pregnancy.
Let's say that somebody doesn't know about treatment options. How long is it typical for NVP or morning sickness to last?
Usually the first trimester. That's the beauty of it. It's usually going to resolve. But in the meantime, women don't have to experience morning sickness all day long, be miserable all day long, have it affect their life. And we can empower them to take back and enjoy this pregnancy. And what I love is the diclegis website, diclegis.com, where you can get my Dr. Lisa tips. And also you can get other tips of what to do, nausea and vomiting in pregnancy, so you can take back your pregnancy.
Taking back your pregnancy. I think that is so cool. I think that's a great tagline. Dr. Lisa Masterson, former host of The Doctors, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And don't go away. There's more show coming up right after this. Stick around.